I don't think a dock in the box is an answer living on Charles Street in the West Village. Who has blood in her hands for Dario Giuliano, the federal judge? Community Board 2, you now have a way to redeem yourself by not approving the sale of St. Vincent to the Rudins without a full-service hospital in place alongside the condos. I really do not want an urgent care center. We have 23 already. Thank you for spelling my name right.
It was your mayor that put the knife in the chest of your hospital on 12th and 7th. It was not the Department of Health. He was issuing him to do it. So it was your mayor that did it. Look at all these open mouths.
So if we have a STEMI patient or a patient who needs cardiac catheterization, we contact telemetry because we have to wind up getting a notification to the particular facility that has a STEMI center or a cath lab. If the facility doesn't have it, we're not permitted to go there. So if this model that's coming up of a freestanding ER doesn't have it, we're not permitted to take that particular patient, nor would we take a patient where it would be no good.
Wow. I am not a doctor, okay, but our chairman of emergency medicine has stated that we can treat the heart attack with just like any other community hospital with a TPA, which is a blockage buster. If that's not appropriate clinically, then the patient would be transferred to a heart hospital that would be able to treat the blockage either through a cardiac intervention or through cardiac surgery.
And so now the Rudins continue with their plan, and lo and behold, they save about $50 million buying the building. They have the absolute chutzpah to tell us they have to upzone to get even more apartments in, and totally ignore the issue that it's like an 800-pound gorilla, which is where's the hospital?
And I want to make sure I understood correctly that LIJ is acquiring this property for zero amount of money, and that a bankrupt St. Vincent's donated valuable property for free to a private hospital corporation. Is that correct?
No. That is correct. We're getting the money. We're getting the building free.
I hope everyone understood. How?
What's the answer?
We didn't hear you.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, we get the building without having to pay for the building, but we're putting $100 million into it to create a healthcare facility. So we're spending $100 million.
I don't know if we want to need to talk about what the economics of the project are, but I do think that what we're talking about is land use.
Where St. Vincent's closed, it was such a special place, and people don't care anymore. They care about real estate and money. We've lost that specialness that used to what I thought was a part of this country. And for that, I was crying part of that because we lost it somewhere, and nobody seems to care whether people die because there's no hospital. What would have happened if the hurricane had come and people were injured? Where would they go on the west side? I don't understand. I know I speak a different language because I don't talk about money and power. I just talk about people because that's what I've done all my life. Thank you.
We're supposed to look the other way when the doctors and nurses in our community who have been serving our families for generations are telling us that this plan is not only not sufficient, but dangerous. We cannot let real estate interests determine healthcare policy.
Can you explain what you meant by geographical nightmare?
Geographical nightmare is simply a comment that says, if there was something here on the west side that's no longer here, I can't go here anymore, I have to go someplace geographically close that has that particular designation of a stroke center or a STEMI center or a 911 receiving hospital. So that's what I meant by geographical.
I think that anybody you speak to who's from the neighborhood feels the same way. We're very, very irate, we're outraged, that they could pull off a deal like they've done. It's a disgrace.
That includes a portion in the C62 zone, which is the zone that you have here, that would allow for the use of the maximum FAR that's available to the zone and allow for a reduction of up to 50% of the open space requirement. We've talked before about what the notion of an open space ratio is all about.
Because you've taken away our hospital, we've only asked for the Coleman building, we're not asking for anything else but the Coleman building. Okay, so if somebody from the rooms could come up when I'm finished speaking and explain how you're going to enhance the community with this. I really think that this memorial park over here should be a memorial for all the people that have died since the hospital closed.
The other question I have is for landmarks. This gentleman and the lady that was up here. From what I've heard, and it's very good inside information, the chapel is gone. The chapel has been taken down, and it's at St. Peter's in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Now, if the hospital building and all these buildings are still in the bankruptcy court, who gave permission for the chapel to be taken down with Tiffany windows? And actually, who owns it? How much were they paid for it? And why would Landmark allow a 160-year-old chapel to be taken down?
This gentleman's very, very angry at Bloomberg. Is there anybody else out there that's angry at Bloomberg?
Yes! Impeach Mike Bloomberg!
Let him know that! Let him know that!
Jail for Bloomberg and Christine Quinn!
How about Christine Quinn? Anybody angry out there at Christine Quinn? How about Todd Dwayne? Dick Gottfried?
Are there politicians who have a vested interest in ensuring that we don't have a hospital? And I ask that because I can remember in 2009 seeing articles in the paper about the Rudin family wanting to put up a condo at the site, and then seeing that Christine Quinn got $30,000 from the Rudin family. I mean, is she paying back her real estate owners? Is that what this is about? Is that why she hasn't been a leader in her own district to save our hospital?
You know, Chris Quinn has let this district down, and if she thinks that by aligning herself with Mayor Bloomberg and the developers like the Rudins are going to get her elected mayor, she's got a big, big surprise happening. Chris, come home.
Okay, I'm angry, but I have to tell you the emotion that really takes my heart is sadness. Sadness that we've been duped by everybody in this city that has anything to do with what we want to get done.
That's right.
And often governments are the last people who will ever tell the truth. And the way the truth often gets ripped out of government is by public citizens all over the world standing up and demanding it.
What we need you to do is to grab a couple of friends and don't give up the struggle. Don't let these people win. Struggle like you did back in the 60s, back in the 70s. Struggle like we did against Vietnam.
We never heard from Mayor Bloomberg. And, you know, he finds it in his heart to get exercised about a whole lot of things. You know, he's exercised about financial reform being debated in Congress and how he thinks that's not going to be good for New York City. You know, the loss of this hospital, the loss of the only hospital between what used to be called Beekman Downtown and Roosevelt on 60th Street, the loss of the only hospital in that stretch of the world that is home to several 100,000 people and the workplace of several million people, you know, that can't be good for New York City. You know, I think the mayor should have been in a couple of press conferences at least.
Every single New York City elected official was invited here today. They are down in Tribeca at 12 noon for a rally down there. It is a short taxi cab ride to 12th and 7th
Do you see anybody? If you're here and you're an elected official, raise your hand, please, so we can bring you up on the podium. We have been promised meetings.
I have no problem coming before you, talking with you, and having this conversation, and I think you do have a right over the next period of months or whatever long it takes to give it to us as you see fit. And I will come to these meetings as you invite me.
We have been promised we'll see you after the election. We have been promised many things. None of it has come to the truth. Deceiver! Totally deceived. And I have to tell you, the two I'm the saddest about is Tom Duane and Dick Gottfried. They live in this town. They were the chair people of the health committee when this hospital went down. They will tell you that they didn't know that we were in financial distress. That's a lie. It's a lie.
You're going to have to listen to me again for a moment because I set the ground rules, and they are not in charge of getting us the hospital. That's me and Dick and Chris and Jerry and the governor and us, but I asked them to come here to tell us the real world, right? Because otherwise we can yell and scream and be angry all we want, but we want to know how we get a new hospital, and we have to know what we're up against. And no one has stopped. And no one is more angry than Eileen, except for maybe me. Okay. And Eileen, we are hearing the truth as these folks know it, right? And we need to know it to get what we want. Am I right about that? Yes. Okay. So if Eileen says it's true, so listen to what they said because we need to know because that's what we're up against and we're going to win, but we need to know what we're up against. Okay.
So please, stay in the struggle with us. This is not a done deal. And if you hear anything negative about this coalition, please give one of us a call because they've been spreading some horrible rumors around town about us. All we're in this for is to get a full-service hospital. Stay with us on Facebook, stay involved, and know that I really love every single one of you that are here today. And I wish that I was upstairs on 14 West tonight taking care of you. So please stay in the struggle. Thank you.
It's about the idea of engaging in nonviolent direct action. If people really want a hospital, they'll spend a night in jail. It's no big deal.